It is self-oppression. It is voluntary slavery to your passions and to your appetite that holds you back.
When white America killed Dr. King last night, she opened the eyes for every black man in this country. It would have been better if she had killed Rat Brown and or Stokely Carmichael. But when she killed Dr. King, she lost. Yes. We have to retaliate for the death of our leaders.
See, unlike America would have us believe, the greatest problem confronting this country today is not pollution and bad breath. It's black people. It's black people.
Brown was jailed in connection with riots during the late 60s. He was best known for his statements on violence.
I say violence is necessary. Violence is a part of America's culture. It is as American as cherry pie.
While serving time in federal prison, Brown read the Koran. When he was released in the late 70s, he had a different outlook on life. Today, he represents one of the most startling Islamic conversions in America. H. Rap Brown is now Jamil Al Amin.
It is necessary that we begin to deal with what is called the nafsi amaro, the evil of self. If you can't beat yourself, you can't beat nobody else. And this is what the crux of the Islamic program is about. It is dealing with the evil of self. Allah says, verily he will not change the condition of people until they change that which is in their hearts. And then he does not leave it at that. He gives them a program that will bring about the change, that effectuates change. And that program is built upon what is called the 5 pillars of Islam. The first being what is called kalima shahada, the declaration of faith, the bearing of witness to the unicity of one God, that there is no God but one God. He has no partners. He has no associates. He has no son. Allah say, far be it for him, far be it for him to have a son when he has no mate. He has no consort. For him to create is no more than to say be, and it is. He says the likeness of Jesus is that of Adam. He said be, and he was. The unicity, the Godhead being that there is one. This is a part of the purifying agency that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to man. And the other part of the formula is that Muhammad is his messenger, which is not a denial of the messengership and the prophethood of those who preceded him. But it is in fact a testimony and a statement that Allah has invested in him a program that will bring about the change that Allah says he will be pleased with. It is in this sense that the first pillar of Islam deals with the declaration of faith, that there is no God but Allah. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger. The second being prayer, 5 times a day. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, told his companions, if a man were to bathe himself in a stream 5 times a day, how much dirt would be left? They say of no significant amount. He said that is likened unto prayer. Fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that He has given us fasting. He has commanded fasting on us as he has commanded it on those before us, that we may learn self-restraint. And in terms of the other pillar of Islam that deals with charity, zakat. Zakat literally means to take from what you have to purify that which you keep. The whole concept of developing a social consciousness. When we look at the other pillars, they dealing with self. And dealing with self in such a manner that we put ourselves in check and we begin to discipline ourselves around the strengths that we have. But then the whole sense of charity begins to push us into another era, a wanting for our brother what we want for ourselves. The whole sense of being socially conscious, to be able to understand that whatever we have, the poor has a right in it. You become a socially cohesive force. Because again, the whole sense of ignorance does not exist individually. Ignorance is an organized force, and it has to be combated in that manner with a force of enlightenment. Then there's the pillar of Hajj, or the pilgrimage. And the pilgrimage is the symbolism of what happens on the Hajj, is that there's an application of all of the other pillars, all of the other practices. One gets a chance to come together in the universal community of mankind. And so in understanding this, we get a better perspective of what the battle is and who the enemy really is. If we see the enemy in terms of color, then we will be misled as to how to be effective in fighting. Everybody can fight, but everybody can't win. There's a way to fight. There's a way to win. And again, in viewing as to who the enemy is, those people are the people who we fight against, or those forces that we fight against, have never been blinded by racism. They've never been blinded by racism. When they fought Indians, they used Indians. When they fought the Mexicans, they used Mexican. When they fought Vietnamese, they used Vietnamese. When they fought the African Americans, they used African Americans, because they know if you're going to fight a green soldier, you need a green soldier. It is this concept. They have never been blinded by racism. So they give you racism as a tool by which you think that you may be organized so you can effectively combat them. And they know that the tool is inadequate for the struggle that you have to wage. It is in this sense that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded upon us that we begin to practice the program.
You contacted the Federal Bureau of Investigation and told them that you had committed a murder and were involved in the shooting of a cop in March of 2000 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
All right. You weren't arrested for it, were you?
No, sir, I was not.
In fact, another person was tried and convicted.
Jamil Al Amin, yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. May Allah be pleased with you. I bear witness that there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. There's no power and no might except with Allah. So all of you who have helped my son in the endeavor of trying to bring about a semblance of justice in this situation, may Allah reward you. I thank you. I ask Allah to guide my heart and guide my tongue. I seek refuge in Allah from misleading and from being misled.
This call is from a federal prison.
From betraying and being betrayed in ignorance by others. I ask Allah to confer upon me a look that is merciful, a knowledge that is useful, a tongue that is light, a heart that is unerring. And again, to all of you who've helped out, I appreciate it. Thank you. Shukran.